You're listening to the Gabe Molina Podcast.
Starting off on a high.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Before we get started. We're starting already.
All right. Okay.
What's up with Tim's thirst trap, man?
Dude. Did you see? Michelle posted what I fucking text
What'd you say?
Richard. I sent Richard the post. I was like, is Tim feeling himself today? And he goes, dude, I don't know. You drink one beta alanine, drink it, you start acting different. And I was like, bro, take his phone away from him.
I told him, I said, hey man, I haven't liked this picture yet because I didn't want to get in there too early.
I put. Okay, now show your bicep because one's detached. You show the other one.
That's right. You know what's funny is I showed Nina, and Nina's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's your nephew." Oh shit! And she's like, "Whoa, what is he doing that for?" And I said, "Look, first of all, it'd be gangster as fuck if he didn't show dick root." And I said, I think I saw like 3 pubic hairs sticking out of the top. I was like, oh man, Tim. I was sitting there.
No, that was just his little fro.
Is that midlife crisis? Is that what
Probably,
that is?
yeah.
You know what?
That truck is midlife crisis. That dually. Shit.
Oh jeez.
I tell you what, if I had that body, I'd have gone lower with those pants. You'd have seen everything, man. That'd have gone on OnlyFans.
But I was scrolling. I was like, why is Tim's? Oh, that's posted on heavy metal shit. This is okay. Here we go.
Did you
Today's
like it?
the day.
Did you like it right away, or did you take a wait?
I don't know if I even liked it. Honestly,
I don't know if I even liked it. I don't think I could.
I waited. It got to like 250 likes, and I was like, okay, I think it's safe.
You know the first one, Gabe Molina liked it.
Dude, I liked it and unliked it like 3 or 4 times just so I could like it again.
I bet you did. You liked it, unliked it with your offhand.
On the other hand,
The other one was busy. Kind of sus, Gabe.
you know what, man? I tell you what, if it's beautiful, I'm looking at it. Guy or girl, it don't matter to me. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Forgot to close the doors.
He's gonna go to the bathroom real quick. We got him worked up a little bit.
I got all excited.
Tim's pictures have been in mind again.
He's got abs on the mind.
I did screenshot it. I put my face
Oh my fucking god.
I put my face on it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was funny as fuck.
That shit's so funny to me. Maisie goes, why doesn't he try to do it like better, cut out the head? I said, no, that's the point.
That's the funny part.
That's the funny part. Just
And nobody has Photoshop skills like Maisie does.
she all those graphics that we get, my wife makes them.
No kidding.
Yeah.
She makes the layered 3D stuff with
All
that
that shit, dude. I don't know how she does it. She didn't.
She goes hard,
she didn't go to school for nothing. She just figured all that shit out.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I need to get with her because I need to learn how to do some of that stuff.
Every
It
time-
looks amazing.
You gotta keep the fucking square photo all off, and you still see the head underneath.
You know what? When y'all were in Portugal, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, that's badass. But usually you guys roll deep, right? Jim shows up. She came all out for you, man. She was yelling at you, keeping you going.
Oh, she's like that.
I liked it.
Oh no. You probably don't hear from. Well, if you listen to the tapes that she gets, they're bad, dude. Don't you fucking drop it? Like
Emma's the same way. She screeches. Dude.
Really?
Oh yeah. No. The video she takes, you have to mute it because it's just
just gnarly, and then like fucked up, like you pussy, why'd you drop it? No. Oh, that's just me. That's
just you, dog.
Oh, that's just you.
But she did that at the house when you were moving that washing machine or whatever that was.
Dryer.
The dryer.
I thought you guys just bought new appliances though. Like when the house was new.
No, we got that dryer. We need a new dryer. This one's starting to smell like it's burning, so we're like, fuck, we gotta get a new one.
She said, if you're going to be the world's strongest Latino, I'm not washing these fucking dishes by hand. You better buy me a washing machine.
Oh, so we got one of those. They came with the house.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, he married one.
Oh.
She's gonna beat my
Move that little closer.
She's gonna beat my ass.
This is the podcast where we die.
Yeah. Last podcast ever.
Hey,
See you later.
Hey, but you have one good last laugh.
Yeah.
So, Nick Guardione, Austin Andrade. 2 powerhouses at a heavy metal fitness. Let me tell you something I was telling y'all earlier. we talked maybe a year ago or something with both of you, and you guys have both put on muscle. You guys are started competing more. You're new into, I guess, the more international scene, but you guys are killing it, man. How exciting is that?
We're getting there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fun.
This is what we've been working for
it's crazy. Yeah, no, it's
4
crazy,
years now.
Like
So.
that's what we've asked for. Like this is what we've been working for, and now it's here.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I don't know if it's just kind of unreal sometimes, but yeah, we competed at the Shaw. Like it's turned itself to be one of the biggest international shows.
Is that the largest in the United States?
Yeah, it is.
Because his is the only one that I see kind of promoted like that.
Like they have Arnold's. Arnold's Pro is another big one, but the payout that the Arnold's does is not even close to what the Shaw is doing and
that's the thing.
what the Rogue Invitational is doing.
He started 4 years ago, and it's taken off like this.
Yeah.
Like he's already, it's pretty much the Arnold World's Strongest Man and now Shaw Classic.
Well, you know what's cool about him is he's been relevant for a while. You know, and he started, and he kicked his event off while he's still relevant and at the top of the game, right?
Yep.
And so it's cool to see him almost kind of like before he gets to the end of his run, he started transitioning, you know, into something new, and it exposes a lot of the newer guys and the younger guys. And man, it's fucking cool that y'all get exposed like that and that y'all get those opportunities.
Yeah, I think Shaw was a great experience for both of us. I mean, just
Well, you were top 10.
Yeah.
And you finished number one in the Open, right?
Yeah.
And then you also recently won the one in Portugal.
Yeah, World's Strongest Latino.
So how is that for you guys getting ready for y'all's events when you're competing so close to each other like that? Is it something where you need a certain time period to kind of get ready for that event? Or like in your case, when you went from Portugal to this one, was it just kind of a continuation of your workout, or did you have to start over?
Oh yeah, Portugal and the Shaw, it was like already on the calendar. Like we knew we were going to do those well, like in February, March. So like, you just kind of planned for it. And I think you had a show May. When was Republic?
Yeah,
sometime like that. But yeah, we try to keep 8 weeks. But that was part of why I did Portugal and the Shaws, because when the events came out, everything just lined up great.
Yeah.
Like all the events are real similar. But, you try to keep 8 weeks. But the same thing at heavy metal, we always say, we stay ready. And that's what we really do. To where, honestly, it could be 2 weeks. Like I'm going to be in London next week. Like we can go do a show.
Oh, wow, quick.
We've been doing this long enough now. We know like when our bodies need to rest, and we're both strong enough to the point now where we don't really need to train to get too much stronger. We just need to stay ready.
Yeah.
Maintain the strength instead of
stay healthy, really.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If we've noticed getting to a level we're at, it's like on some days we want to push a weight, but we know how far we're at, and we're like, all right, let's use a lighter weight today because we just need to get the technique or drill the motion or whatever. We don't have to
beat ourselves up too much.
Yeah.
How common is it that you guys that a strong man that's competing at the level that y'all are have a teammate that's competing at that same level? Is it pretty common, or is it rare between you guys? And how beneficial is that for you guys? It's got to be astronomical. It's got to be massive to have somebody that's competing in similar or the same events where
it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the Stoltman brothers is the only one, and they're one of the 2 times World's Strongest Man. So and then those dudes are internationals, but really, I guess those are the only really 2 that have someone that like us is like they're every day pushing each other.
Like there's a couple,
but they're
people
real
who have,
fucking brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But there's like people who have like coaches that will train with them, or like training partners that may be in like a lower weight class or whatever the case may be. But to have someone who's like right there weight wise and competing for the same shows and the same prizes, like I feel like it's next level.
I tell you what,
it's invaluable. Is that the word I'm looking for?
It's a good word.
Yeah, because it's just like, I mean, every day, like we're talking about the West Side guys, it's every day is a competition between us, you know what I mean? And then too, like now Nick's because when we first got Nick, he was a little twerp, but now he's turned himself.
I saw those old pictures of you, man.
I mean? So now, you know what I mean? He went from anorexic to one of the top guys in the nation right now. So, but there's been events that Nick's just taken to the whole next level, which is great for me.
Yeah.
Because now I can I know he moves fast. I can if I can keep up with him in moving events, then I know I'm going to be good. And same thing with him. If he can keep up with me in static events, he knows he's going to be doing good. So that it works off each other. It would suck if we're both like just big dudes that couldn't move, and we're we're pushing each other in this aspect of strength, which is like static strength, just picking up, putting it down kind of thing. But strongman is more than that. And a lot of the events is moving. You have to move with weight, and I'll never tell to his face, but he's good at that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it was nice to see y'all. I guess it was the a log press y'all did side by side.
Yeah. Oh, that was sick.
Medley.
Yeah, there was that picture, and I think I stole it too. It was of y'all both doing the circus
that was so
dumbbell.
funny.
Mm-hmm. So it was crazy how that, because you draw. When you get to the show, you draw for your placing or when you go in the event.
Yeah, so we both put our hand in the hat and grabbed a number.
And I was they went by alphabetical order, so there's 16 dudes, and there's 16 pieces of paper in there, and I stuck my hand in the first one. I pulled 13.
And my last name's Guardione, so I was in the middle of the pack, and so there was only a few people behind me, and I got 14.
But the thing is,
we just
like,
happened.
Yeah,
just
you don't want to go
That's
first.
cool.
You don't want to go first. That's the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
So it was funny because all these dudes, like, we're the strongest almost in the world at the point. You know what I mean? Like, we're a level but underneath what the strongest in the world is, and dude, we're shitting bricks, fucking picking these numbers. We're like, oh God, please! Like, you just don't want to pull one, because you pull one, you're going out there first, and you have to set the tone.
Yeah.
To where if you go towards the end of the pack, you can see what everyone's doing,
And you know what you need to hit to win the event.
Oh, got you. So
it's
you're not
strategy.
going balls out. You guys are trying to stay in the pocket. It's almost like maybe like a long distance race, right? You kind of want to stay
Almost, yeah.
in a certain spot, and then at the end you pick it up.
But also
there's
as
a fine balance between that, because like for example, on that press medley that we did together, we knew we had to beat 3 reps on the circus dumbbell, and I think we were both prepared for more than 3 reps, but stuff happens during a show, and like even though we're going 100%, we both didn't get past 3 reps, even though we had the strength and conditioning to do that. The altitude got us; we weren't ready for it. At least I wasn't ready for it. I made a couple small mistakes. I kind of hurt my shoulder a little bit, and so I mean, we're going 100%. But if we can win the event with less than that, that's what you want to do, because you want to save energy for the rest of the show.
Yeah, you have 4 other events.
You still have to. I mean, the guys that we're going up against are the best in the world, pretty much. So like,
you gotta go hard.
You can't really pull back. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
still, even though you have a number to beat, you still got to go hard just to even get close to beating that. So
because we're in the second last group, so there's still a group that went behind us, and I know the dude, 2 of the guys in there, they're top dudes in the nation. It's like, so they can pull something out of their ass any day too. So you at that show, and the way like how competitive was, there was no you have to go hard.
Yeah.
Like every single event, like this is.
Well, I'd imagine if you wanted to, because if you're trying to reserve something, because it's a 2-day event, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're trying to reserve something, and it's a lot of weight you guys are freaking pushing. It's a lot of weight for a short period of time, or when you're moving something, and to do that over 2 days, it's got to be difficult. You don't want to pull up short and then find out, man, I should have got 1 more rep or 2 more reps. Yeah. Because then now you're in the deficit, right? And
well, that's kind of what happened to me on the stones.
On stones?
I was confident that I could get all 5.
What were the weight of those stones?
So it went from 350 to 450.
Wow.
5 stones.
Which is it's a pretty heavy stone.
That's what they use at Giant Live and World Strongest Man. Like that's like a good stone
World class.
Yeah, that's like a world class stone
Gotcha.
run. So I was confident I could hit them all.
Is 450 the max at every competition? Or does it go higher?
460.
Some there's been a couple shows. There's been a pro-am and up in Washington that had like a max stone event, and they were hitting 470, 500 stones.
God bless.
But in a run, 450 is usually about as high as you go. 460.
At least
maybe.
I know if I fall, y'all can pick me up.
I don't know. I'll roll you over before I jump.
But I was just a little too meticulous in that event, and I took too much time resetting in between each stone, and I ran out of time to even hit the last stone. So
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's
so-
also timed.
yeah.
Jeez.
And with how tight that the top 10 guys were, that 1 stone cost me 5 positions or more.
Really, that many?
That 1 stone put me out of the top 5.
So is it like a timed deal where like, hey, you have 30 seconds to finish? Or it's like, hey, Joe Blow finished in 13 seconds, and if you over 13, you're out.
Yeah, you have a minute to get all
No,
5.
I mean it's all by points. So like you each event's got a certain time limit.
It's called split time. So
Whatever. If it's a minute or 75 seconds, minute 15. But they place you in like, so first place is 16 guys. So first place gets 16 points, and then but they determine it by split times.
So if you get 4 stones
in 25 seconds,
then that is better than 3 stones in 15 seconds. But 5 stones. So like even the guys that finished all 5 stones, you know, one guy finished in 45 seconds, the other guy finished in 52 seconds. The guy with 45 seconds, it took less time, so he gets more points.
Did y'all all make it to the 450 stone?
He finished the whole run.
Oh,
okay.
I won that event. 40 something seconds, something like that.
How many guys are in the, I guess, the heat or whatever it is? Is 16 total?
It's head to head, so it's 1v1. So there's 2 lanes of guys doing stones at the same time, but there's 16 athletes total, so it was 8 groups.
Okay. So out of those 16, I guess how many were able to complete the 450?
Three guys finished it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So if you got 4 stones, you got 4 stones fast, you got a lot of points.
Okay.
But I took my time, and that's what cost me a lot of points. Was I finished the 4th slow because I was ready to do the 450, but I just took way too much time resetting, and I ran out of time before I could get it up.
Yeah, that's there's a lot involved, man. There's a lot in the training, and there's a lot mentally.
It's a lot more than just big, strongman lift. There's a little strategy to it.
Yeah,
we think about it. Like even watching Brian Shaw get ready for the finger fingers was crazy. Like he was timing how long it took. He told him, hey, time how long it takes him to reset the event, because he wanted to know how much time he had after like the people before him, so he could get mentally ready. Like everything was broken down, and so if you take it to that next level, of course you're gonna win.
I also think he was doing that as like a promoter. Like he wants to make sure that they can bring those reset times down for next year.
Oh, well, that too. But I saw it as an athlete side. Like, okay, all right, there's restarting. Okay, I got 10 minutes before I'm going. So you got 10 minutes to figure it out instead of like, just being anxious for 10 minutes. Okay.
Man, it almost sounds to me like there's less, the physicality of it, that physical portion of it. Yeah, it's a huge part of competing, but at the same time, it's almost like that second nature. It almost sounds like the most difficult part is staying tight mentally. With all the moving parts, things happening, other competitors being in the room, times and weights and where you want to be, where you are in the standing. There's a lot mentally going on.
So look at it this way. So however long your prep is, 8, 12 weeks, whatever it is, you're doing those events over and over again, week after week, session after session. The only thing you can't prepare for is being on the field in front of a crowd with the announcers and the other competitors and the situation being exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that's a variable is the environment. Like what you need to do on the events, how it's going to feel, for the most part, but like the thing you can't control is the day of.
Yeah. How is I think one thing that people need to understand about you two and y'all's competing is this is fucking big time. Yeah. This is the NFL. This is Major League Baseball. This is, hockey. You guys are competing in front of a massive amount of people at a very high level. When you were at the one in Portugal, they had some bleachers on the side, and it was packed. And I guess there was different times of day where more people would show up or whatever. The Shaw, I'd seen some videos of people in the stands. The motherfucker was packed.
It was sold out, yeah.
Packed.
It was sold out.
So if on top of everything, you're performing in front of thousands of people, are you able to block that out? Are you able to put that aside? Or can it get a little overwhelming being in front of that many people?
So,
because you're going to show your ass, right? You're either going to be the man or you're going to fall short, and everybody's watching.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine at some point you got to just say it is what it is, and I'm here to compete, and let's go. But still, that many people?
Yeah. Personally, for me, like you walk out on the field, you see all the people, you may be a little nervous, but as soon as the whistle blows, I'm blank. I'm not even there.
See anything. And honestly, on the floor, it doesn't even look that impressive to what sitting in the bleachers. I think, in the bleachers, everything just looks so massive and dang. Like look at, but you walk on the floor and you're like, oh, that's only a couple rows up. It doesn't. But I mean, I played football and everything, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just like when the whistle blows, it's go time. It don't matter what people are looking at. You know what I mean? You got to go. So
like all you're not even really thinking. You're just going through the motions of what you've done in training. So,
how is preparing at heavy metal, and this is a weird question, it's more of a question for me, just curious. When you've got a gym where you've got a lot of like-minded people there, right? And everybody's working their ass off, and they're trying to achieve their own goals. But when you've got a timeline that you're trying to hit, I'd equate it to similar to like an MMA guy, right? They're not ready to fight a week out of the fight day. No. They're preparing, so they're peaking on that fucking day. Yeah. Is there anything special that you do different to maintain that level of staying on track for your event? Or is it kind of, you guys kind of have the run of the gym and y'all can kind of access things that you need when you need them and things of that nature? I'd imagine having several people, because it's a popular gym at this point, which is great. But I'd imagine at some point, unless you're going, at odd hours, maybe I'll go at odd hours to work out, and then y'all coach as well. How do y'all maintain all of that? All the, I guess, daily distraction, or is it helpful to kind of keep you from kind of overthinking the events?
I think, first of all, it's a sport, so you have a life, and then you have a sport, and you shouldn't make sport. At the end of the day, 10 years, I'm probably going to be done with this. I'm going to have to figure out something to do the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can while I'm here, while I'm doing it. But no, I don't. It's just a part of it. But at the same time, it does help having everyone at the gym, understand, okay, this is the end goal. Everyone's let's try to get whoever there at that end goal winning. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that helps. But there's no real, I wouldn't say, because it is a part of our life that, we prioritize it to we want to win too. So we're going to do anything we can to make sure we're in the best shape, position possible to win at the end of the day. And Tim's really good at doing that, regardless, coaching us. But if there's something we need, okay, let's get it. You know what I mean? There's no real questions asked on. Yeah.
So as far as implements or equipment,
and he knows it's going to benefit the gym at the end of the day, so he's going to get it anyways.
Yeah.
But there's no. I mean, I don't want to say. I don't see anything as a distraction, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
it's the team isn't just me, Austin, and Tim. The team is every high level competitor at heavy metal. We all know what we need to do to get to where we need to be. Anyone who's needing help is going to get it, whether it's us, whether it's Jess, whether it's Rob, whether it's Tess. So even the powerlifters, we'll help. We'll go spot them, we'll hype them up, whatever they need, because we all know that everybody has their turn.
So it's more of an asset than a distraction, I guess.
Yeah. There's there's absolutely no way that we're in a position where we are doing this on our own. Oh, yeah. And you see it all the time with the dudes that we compete with, they're like, oh, I don't have a coach. And you're like, oh, shit, that sucks.
Oh, really?
It's crazy the fact that they've gotten that far by themselves, which speaks a lot for them, right? But it's just nuts. And they'll be like, same thing, we're talking about training partners. You know what I mean? Me and Nick have something to push off each other. It's the best we're almost, getting close to the best in the world. That, it's invaluable to have something like that in the gym. It's the same thing. So, Josh is over there deadlifting. He's a big deadlifter. You can kind of gauge it, but everything you use there is an asset versus distraction. And then, too, we'll invite people, come to the gym, come work out with us. Maybe we'll learn something from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like other competitors, I guess.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Anybody. We'll meet people on the road who are interested, and be like, all right, we train Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. If you want to learn, join up. Come train with us.
I've seen y'all go to other people's places. I know y'all are doing stones with some other dude. I forgot where y'all are at.
Trey,
it's like an outdoor gym or something.
Oh, Trey in the shed, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's got to be super helpful to.
Oh.
It's almost like a large extended community outside of your local community, which is your gym, right?
I think people are stupid. Honestly, that's a harsh word to use, but if you like Trey, fourth world's strongest man in the world,
2 years in a row, yeah.
Really?
He lives in Beaumont, 6 hours away. You're going to tell me a 6-hour drive is going to keep me from learning from the best stone lifter in the world? Yeah. Not happening. We're going. Yep. If you need something. Gabe Pena down in the valley, one of the best deadlifters in the world. We went to go deadlift with him. You tell me 5 hours is going to keep me from learning from the best in the world? I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if they're so close. If it's something you want to do, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
How many other guys are I guess, in in within y'all's area that y'all train with? Is it those two?
It's really just them two. Right?
Them two.
Yeah.
There's some dudes up in Dallas that are pretty strong guys.
There's a lot of middleweights in Texas.
Yeah, the 105 class, 231 playing.
Okay.
But and you can learn a lot. Like as a heavyweight guy, you can learn a lot from lighter weight classes because they don't have the frame that we do, so they got to get real efficient and technical. So like we push weights, they push technique. Mm-hmm. So what happens is they get super efficient and technically sound, and then we can look down. Well, not look down, but we can like look down at them physically.
Well, you're
physically
like,
look down.
You're like 6'13", so you're looking down at pretty much everybody.
But like basically, we look at what they're doing, and we can learn a lot from them. Even though they're not pushing the weights nearly as high as we are, we can take some technique from them, and that's kind of how it works sometimes.
And that's awesome. That's awesome that y'all have that community, you know. And I see, you know, you talked about Rob earlier, and Rob's another guy that. I don't know if he's got any competitions coming up, but that dude is friggin' strong, man.
Yeah. Healing up from a bicep, but he tore a bicep.
Yeah, recently, right?
Yeah, so he's healing up from that, but he'll get back on the competing train too. So that's nothing.
Is there anything you can do to, like you talked about Tim's bicep and Rob's, and are there things you can do to mitigate, I guess, those torn muscles, or is it bound to just happen?
No, it's recovery.
No,
Is it recovery?
Yeah,
100%.
being smart with training, warm-ups, recovery work, that's like stretching.
Recovery is so general in the sense that it's just this kind of like strength training. Like strength training is weightlifting, running, this, that. Recovery, same thing, but like all aspects of recovery is what makes recovery. So you can't like slack on the sleeping side and then
Or the food side, or the stretching side.
And then be really good at flexibility. You need to be everything, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with like if something's hurt, you're lacking in one of those aspects of recovery.
Oh, got you.
So it's recovery's like you say, I do recover. I go to, we have this place called Evolve, which is sick. But you know what I mean? Like, but if you're not going home and sleeping and not getting,
Getting good sleep.
Getting good sleep, then you're missing out on half of what recovery is.
And that's when you grow, is when you sleep. Like the training is the fun part. Like what we always talk about, the training is the fun part. We go and we hang out, for a couple hours, a few times a week, and we just shoot the shit and lift some weights. The hard part is waking up early to get the food in, eating every couple hours, going to bed when you need to get your full amount of sleep for full recovery. Instead
of playing video games or staying on your phone.
Sleeping with a mask on because it's uncomfortable. Like whatever the case may be, the training is the fun part.
Yeah.
Doing all the superfluous stuff is the hard part.
Sitting in an ice tub
sucks.
Yeah. But you suck it up because it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
What else do you use at Evolve? I looked them up, and they have some like saunas and some other stuff too.
Everything. Well, whatever they got there, we use it. It's
Brian Shaw kind of led the way as far as hot and cold therapy. So that's doing cold plunge into either hot plunge or sauna. So you go from hot to cold and you do rounds of that. But basically what that does is it like shuts off your central nervous system so that you can begin the recovery process. Because basically what happens is the training, you get activated, your CNS is firing, and then it takes a certain amount of time at the end of the day for your CNS to turn off while you're sleeping before you actually begin growing muscle and healing your body. What the hot and cold does is it shuts your central nervous system off so that the healing can begin even sooner.
Oh, wow.
And it reduces inflammation, improves blood flow. There's a lot of stuff.
There's so much to it. Yeah,
and Evolve has more tools than just that.
Yeah, that's their big thing. They have a Norwegian sauna that gets up to 190, 95. You go in there, sweat your ass off for 10 minutes, and then you go hop in a cold plunge where he gets in the fucking 30-something degree one like an idiot. It's horrible. He swims in it too. That's the other thing too. He's all ducking his head.
You got to get your head in there, or else your body won't shut down.
I started putting my head in a couple weeks ago. It does. It does exactly. You need to do it. Yeah. But before I was like, fuck this, I gotta do that shit. But I only get in the middle one. That's enough for me.
Nick strikes me as being a little bit morbid, just kind of with.
Yeah. He almost cutting his hand off.
That too. Stopping a bandsaw with the backside of his hand. So I mean,
he likes the pain. Yeah. He always says he has to learn shit the hard way. So
every time, literally all my life lessons were learned the hard way.
My wife said.
But I'll do them once. Hey, I'll do them once, and I'll never do them again.
And sometimes you just gotta let him do it, and you're just like.
Yep, every time.
What? Hey.
So you stopped trying to stop him from getting into bullshit?
No, absolutely not. Like him and Tim.
It's never gonna. It's never gonna happen.
Him and Tim
it's just,
are
at
my
this
voice
point,
of reason.
At this point, it's just what can we say to help him? Can we steer him in a better direction?
or where's a good place for us to stand?
Yeah. No.
Are we about to get our phones ready? Or?
Yeah.
What's going on? But no, they've done a good job, I think, of trying to be that voice of reason for me, because like my dad passed away a while ago, and I've never really had that until I had them. So like all my life lessons have been hard learned, but I feel like now I can. I don't know, because I don't know if it's just my amount of trust that I put in them or what, but yeah, I think I'm getting to the point now where like if they say something, I'm like,
oh, at the beginning, it wasn't like that, man. It was like Nick, don't do that. I'm gonna do it. Nick, don't do it. Nope, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
Some people are just wired that way, man.
Well, that's him. No, it's not. I don't know. I think you know what I think it was. It's like he said, trust. I don't think he thought that we had our mind. We wanted the best for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know you're going in a good place, and so I just want to say this before you keep going. Is I don't think there's enough emphasis on people understanding how beneficial I think the two of y'all are for each other. You know, so kind of leading towards, you know, y'all kind of meeting up and the things that y'all. What was the kind of thing that drew you to Nick as a person, and vice versa to Austin?
Well, he proposed, he got on a knee.
Right away?
Right now.
Did he have the glorious hair back then, or was it shorter?
It looks better now because he's fatter, but before he looked like...
Oh, you look amazing.
It was bad. Like, you know, he just looked like a crackhead with a full head of hair.
But the crazy part is he was probably the first person I met at Heavy Metal.
When he walked in like this, like kid in a candy store, he's like,
yeah.
Shit. And I was like, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, it's Heavy Metal, whatever. We started showing around Strongman.
So how long had you already been there?
A year and a half, something like that. But
and you were coming in just to check out the gym, or
zero Strongman experience. I had just been.
Did you have any aspirations at the moment of being Strongman, or just?
I mean, I had like.
I mean, you as a lifter, if you're getting into weightlifting, you know powerlifting, you know Strongman because that's what's on social media.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I think ADHD people lead themselves to strongman because powerlifting is squat, bench, deadlift, and you can do that every single day until you die. And I can't do that. Like I got to switch it up. But yeah, he came in, and did you come in with Emma too that day?
I think so.
Yeah, they both came in. Him and his fiance came in.
And Emma left because I stayed there for so long. She came, got back, and picked me up.
He did every single piece.
Hey, that's a good woman, man.
Every single piece of equipment in that gym, and he just wanted. It was cute, honestly, because like he wanted to see. He's got the engineering mindset where he needs to figure shit out. So
he wanted to see the functionality.
Yeah,
of
no,
all
he
these things.
wanted to touch everything. He wanted to see how it felt, whatever, right? So I left too. I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, bro, hey, chill out. But this shit's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can come back tomorrow and do it.
And I did. I
How
came
many
back
hours were
tomorrow.
you there?
I still was like 8 hours or something crazy.
Oh, really?
Well, because I was just like doing the empty log for an hour, just trying to figure out what worked for me, what felt good, what was, you know, and then I would move on to the next one and just play with it. Like I went up on, I think, log. I did the shield carry. I did circus dumbbell, yoke,
farm, everything. Everything at the gym we had, he did.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Yeah, I know it was. But yeah, that and then. Well, I was getting ready for a show, was I? No, that's when. That was December. Okay, so yeah, because he was like, all right, I'm down with Strongman. Let's do this. I want to do this. So we're like, all right, cool. This is what you do. You just pick out a show and then you do the show, right? So we found a show called the Ronnie Coleman up in Dallas that I did before, and I said, this is a good show. This will be a good show for you. And even then, like we're talking about like having the bench interest for him. I was like, you need to stay in Strongman Corporation. You need to do this. Let's do this show. You know, do novice, do this. Like, I've already kind of, based on my experience, I already had a plan for him on what he should do to excel the fastest, right? But that's when COVID happened. And so a lot of shit got thrown off to where.
So what turned in from a 2-month prep of going from zero Strongman experience to jumping into my first show, that was supposed to be about a 2-month thing, turned into 6 months of just training for this one show, never having touched strongman before. And I go into the show, nobody knew who I was because I'd never even done strongman before.
And he did what heavy metal does best.
Smoked him.
Tore shit up.
Smoked him. But it was a novice class.
We win, but we beat the shit out of people too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it was a novice class. So like
good, man.
they're announcing all the winners, right? For trophies at the end. And they're Nick Guardione, winner of the novice men's, whatever. And I'm walking up and all these other, novice competitors and their parents and significant others, boo!
Really?
Stop sandbagging! Get in the open class.
Well, people didn't realize.
So they thought you were going down a level to
but
win.
he never did a show.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This is my first show. Like, I had no idea that I was.
Well, that's the other thing though too is like, originally it was supposed to be a 2-month prep from a guy that didn't lift any strongman equipment, so it probably would have been. No, you still would have won, but it would have been a little bit more competitive, I guess, for other people.
Yeah.
But the way we train at heavy metal, you give us 6 months, shit's gonna happen. We're gonna.
Yeah. So how did that make you feel? Did it make you feel like fucking Ric Flair?
I mean, I was already I was already hooked, but like, you love to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it felt good, and I was like, all right, well, I want to win an open now.
But it's even better when you win and everybody hates that you won, doesn't it?
Not in strongman because everyone's
cool in strongman. That's what it is. Like
just that one time I got booed, but I don't think it was super malicious. But
there's a couple dudes in the sport that you're like, I hope you run into a wall kind of thing. Like,
but I mean, for the most part, all the guys you're competing against are buddies. You know what I mean? So like, no one's ever gonna really boo you in an open show. Like, that's unheard of. I think.
Yeah, that's what's nice. That's what I keep seeing. It's a repetitive theme in this is the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And it really is a rare thing to have athletes competing at y'all's level. When you talk about,
it's not just our level either. It's just it's
or
throughout the sport.
Throughout.
Strongman just, I don't know what it is about it, but it just breeds camaraderie.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I think it's a lot of it is the rarity of it. The events that you're competing in is pretty rare. As a spectator, you're seeing guys lift up a fucking rock that weighs 450 pounds, and putting it up something a little higher than chest level. That's the kind of, not to make light of things, but people used to pay to see that shit. Oh, there's an airport over here, so nobody's crashing. It's just somebody taking a little single engine. But that's the kind of shit people used to pay back in the early 1900s to see people lift heavy shit. Yeah. And here you guys, there's a whole community that does it now, and it's impressive, man. It's impressive, and it's nice to see that people respect each other. Even though they're competitors, like you talk about with the guys down in the valley or in Beaumont, or anywhere else that you meet folks. Mm-hmm. You might meet somebody for the first time, but you know that if you're competing with me here at the Shaw, we've done the same shit, the same way. You
ever heard of trauma bonding?
Yes.
That's so what it's like.
It's kind of what it's like. Strongman is just a bunch of trauma bonding, like especially as you get.
That's a great word, a phrase.
Yeah, like especially as you get higher and higher up in the show, like how much effort it takes.
Because everyone,
the food, all the training, all the recovery, all the effort that you put in to get to the show, the money that it takes, like the amount of just thought that you have to put into just getting it done is immense. So like, especially as you get up higher into the sport, I find that like you bond so much. Yeah,
your buddy. Yeah, that's cool because like we got good friends from Canada now. You know what I mean? Like after the Shaw, because there's everyone's just so cool with each other.
Are the people from Canada like too nice?
Yeah,
like on TV.
No, they're
them boys are crazy though.
What are their names? What are their names?
Joey Lavallee and
Wes
Derwinski specifically. We went from the Shaw. They're hilarious.
They're hilarious. They're cool,
down to earth,
cool dudes. Yeah. They're good.
They're real strong. They were on the podium behind Austin. Both of them.
Okay. They're really good strongman, and they're competing today too.
They're finishing their competition at Canada's Strongest Man. Canadian Strongest Man. Yeah, whatever.
Canada's Strongest.
Well, that's how we say it.
It's like
no disrespect.
That's what I say. No
disrespect.
They train all winter and then they compete all summer.
So they don't peak like we do. They'll take a month off in between each show. They won't train a thing, and then they'll just show up and wreck shop. Yeah. I was like, what? Like, because that just doesn't even occur to me.
I'd imagine that's got to say something for their technique. You know, if you can take up take that much time off and still be competitive.
Well, they train hard during the winter, so they're prepped and ready
when
to go.
Snowing, you can't do shit outside. That's when they're going hard.
Yeah, so their wintering is training.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
like whenever they come out of hibernation, they're ready to go, and they'll compete for a couple months, and then they'll go right back into training.
It's kind of like the thing about it. The way they do it is badass because it's like they have so much comp experience, and that's like what you were saying before. Like the variable you don't have is what competition day. Like it's hard. Well, we might only get like 3 times a year. They're getting 3 times in a month.
Wow.
During the summer, you know what I mean. So, and they're just it's high. The Canadians are really passionate about the sport, and they understand the sport. So it's not light shit that they do up there. Like they're doing heavy stuff, and they're like Ambassador JF Caron. Was that his name?
Yeah.
He was a world strongest man competitor. Did he take third one year?
Yeah, I think he's been on the podium
he's been on podium, whatever. But he's what's the word? He's crazy.
In the best way possible. Like,
yeah.
He's super into like strength history, like grip. Like he's just an all around like strength enthusiast.
Like Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw. So he's like kind of like Canada's Brian Shaw, and this dude is just a walking gorilla.
So
and he just
the shows that he puts on
are just pure
legit
strongman shows.
And he'll
out in the rain, lifting, pulling trucks, and
No kidding.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but so they got JF as their guy that makes all these shows. So these dudes that like follow him or like take what he says gospel are Wes Dewinski and Joe Lavallee, like the Rahim brothers. Like these, you listen to this dude, yeah, you're gonna be good. Like these, you know what I mean? Like those dudes are good.
That's awesome. And these 2 guys were on the podium with you?
Yeah, they took 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. I am fucking jealous because I bought 2 of your shirts. I usually buy 2, one for dress and one for wearing daily. But I didn't know you'd come out with a crop top line. So when
chill out.
I was like, hey, this motherfucker's got crop tops?
No, dude. I don't have the XLT yet.
Next time you lift the trophy up, you got to do it to the shoulders.
No, the belly's a part of it, bro. The belly's coming out every time.
I was like, man, this motherfucker got a shim wall.
Were you watching the live stream?
You know what? I didn't get a chance to watch a live stream. I saw everybody's stuff.
Oh, man, the trophy, the award ceremony was
it was
embarrassing.
Bad.
So we were all lined up waiting behind the curtain in the back, right? And we were waiting for the call, everybody's name, whatever.
Like half the opening quitters just took off.
Yeah.
They left?
As soon as, like, basically the, 12th place and down just left. I don't know if they, rage quit or what, but. So we were waiting behind the curtain ready to go, and we couldn't hear anything. Like, the back was loud, because the pro show had just finished. Everybody was loud. The crowd was loud. And Nick Best was on the mic, on the MC, and, we couldn't hear anything. So, the crowd kind of died down, and I heard 7th place, blah blah blah. I was like, wait, you didn't call me? What the hell? So I ran out there with a 7th place guy, and they were like, we were calling you. We called you 3 times. You didn't come out.
You couldn't hear. But there was half of the field was out there that went out with us.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Bad. It was bad.
Talking about the crop tops. When I was in Portugal, they gave us our jerseys that we had to wear that day, and I wear a 5X out there.
What do you typically 3?
4.
4?
But European sizes, whatever.
Oh,
that son of a bitch was coming up
metrics,
right underneath
dude.
my titties, man. Yeah. That thing rolled up so far. That was bad. I was like, oh shit, I hope they start making 6X right here, man. I remember when they gave it to me, I was like, this is a 5X? I'm like, oh my God, this looks like an American too.
It looks like one of those fucking sleeves that the welders buy, so they don't have to buy a whole shirt, they just buy the sleeves.
Yeah. I sort of felt like, oh shit, I don't know about this, but yeah.
How was Portugal, man? Did your wife have a good time?
Yeah, we had a good time. It was.
How many days were you there?
Well, that's what sucked. We had a whole week planned, but you miss a flight. We missed a flight in Atlanta because of delayed whatever, and so we had to spend a night in Atlanta, which is a great place. At least the airport. The airport in that area was horrible. They set us up with a.
What's that strip club in Atlanta?
I don't know.
I forget. T.I. owns it or something. I figured you ought to go in there.
Amazing. I don't know if that's gonna roll, but no. But anyways, we finally got out there, and so we had a day to do tour shit. which it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful in the sense that it's not what we're used to seeing here in Texas, right? So
everything's small, isn't
well,
it?
everything's
fucking
but,
chairs.
but everything's old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to the United States and like here in Texas, like, you know what I mean? Like everything might be 200, 300 years old here. Over there, it's thousands of years old. You know what I mean? So you see a fucking castle and shit.
I'm a geek too, man. I love nerdy shit. I love architecture. I love all that stuff.
It was nuts. And then we did tourist shit and ate good food, you know. Europeans don't drink water with ice, which is different.
What do you drink it with?
Like your tea right there?
Mm-hmm.
They would just come with the tea.
Lukewarm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You get to ask for ice.
That's fucking weird.
It's weird. Well, anyways, to have that toilet that shoots water in your ass.
Okay, did you use it?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you enjoy it?
I'm going to sound filthy right now.
Did you use it in a different context than...
No.
Do you wipe, then shoot water in your ass, or do you just shoot water in your ass?
You shoot water in your ass and then you just dab it dry with toilet paper.
So you don't have to wipe?
I wipe.
Okay, so you do use toilet paper?
Yeah, they had it there. So
now, did you do it, or is that?
I don't know what the normal people do when they shit over there.
Okay, the protocol is...
These are American shits coming out of this body, too.
So,
dude, I've been so constipated. I've been shitting logs and not needing a wipe, man. That's how dry it's been.
Here's the protocol, right? You power wash that sucker clean, all right? And then you just dab it dry. Either with toilet paper or sometimes they have a specific towel.
Okay.
That water hits, gets you a little...
Did it get you right in the...
Wakes you up in the morning.
You need coffee? No, you just take a hit of that. That'll get you going.
Maisie's all, we gotta go. And Austin's like, hey, I'm still cleaning up.
One second.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I do every now and then go back there with the shower wand, you know, just to kind of make sure everything's cool. So I do a little European things at the house myself. Was that your first time?
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Popped your chair.
Oh shit! You liked it?
No, I mean, it's not like it's definitely gonna be after like a buffet kind of deal. It's not after I wouldn't use it after every go.
No, I think I would do it every time. But you do have to dab.
I mean, you're adding.
Your ass is just wet at that point, so you gotta dry it off. I mean, you can shake dry it, I guess, if you really want to.
You're adding an extra 15 minutes to your bathroom routine.
Nah.
Well, I'm already in there 45, man.
That's what I'm saying. So you got a whole hour.
I'm buying all kinds of shit on Amazon, so.
You just go from one to the other. You gonna sit down?
Have you sat on one of those before?
Oh hell yeah, I got one at the house.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not like one of the seat ones. It's like a little attachment that you put on the toilet.
It's like a dentist water pick.
Yeah. So you just get it in there.
So Europe was cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're talking about Europe.
Yeah, they competed 2 days, and then we did more tourist shit on the Monday, and then we came back Tuesday. Yeah, it was fun.
So you got some.
We did some sightseeing and shit like that.
That cool. Fucking that photo of you lifting the tires was pretty badass.
Yeah, that came out cool.
That was real cool.
I think the one event that I was so proud about was the log press.
Did you watch that video of him?
Which one? The log press? I just saw what people were posting on Instagram because I don't.
He didn't move an inch. His feet didn't move. He was just vipering and going right back down and vipering and going right back down. It was like even as a fellow competitor, I was like, "What the fuck?"
So you were in the zone that day.
I turned it on that one. Yeah,
dude,
that one went, and that's like 300 pounds. I was manhandling 300 pounds.
It was crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. What was the next guy lifting? Was he able to get 3, or were you just kind
of? No, I just needed to get 9.
Yeah. Like
the guy won with 8 in a minute, so I just had to hit 9. But I could have gone 10, 11 if I needed to.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. That feeling has to, when you're pushing weight like that, and you're doing it in front of people, and it's a competition, you're in the zone. That's got to be a high.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you chase it. Oh, yeah.
That's what we do it for.
Hey, and then you get home and you got to carry fucking appliances in the house.
Yeah.
And you get people on the street who are like, "Oh, here's your workout for the day."
Oh, I hate that shit. I was like, you even knew what we did for a workout.
Yeah. No. Your wife had mentioned something about your sandals, and I said, "That's how Jesus did it."
Yeah, that's what she told me what she's put. That's funny. Yeah, we had to get it in dryer, but yeah, that's the nice thing about being strong.
And owning a truck, everybody's.
I've been a professional mover since I bought my truck in high school.
I told some friends of mine I used to move them all the time. And I think when I was like 38, I helped him move.
Last one.
I told him, you're gonna have to hire somebody next time. I said, don't get too fucking over
I'll be here, but that's it.
I'll bring tacos, but I ain't picking shit up.
Nope.
Now it's got to a point too where it's funny, like, because we do this for a sport, and people are like, "Oh, you're the strongest guys we know. Can you help us move?" We're like, "No."
Well, because the risk of injury
recovery day,
is
man.
high. Yeah, for real. And the risk of injury is high, and it dehydrates us, which puts us the next workout at risk. So like sometimes we just got to be like,
Sorry,
we're getting close to prep. We really can't.
No.
That's good that you do that, because people aren't being malicious, right? People aren't going, I'm gonna hit them up.
They
legitimately need help.
They
right?
need help, but they also don't understand the kind of work they put in.
Yeah.
But
And I mean, with COVID, when y'all went through the COVID shit, I remember Rob posting something about, hey, if you got COVID, don't come to the fucking gym. And I hadn't even thought about it. And I was like, dude, that's so important to not be if you're 3 days out or 5 days out and somebody comes in sick because they just want to come to the
fucks
gym.
it all up for you.
Well,
that's what happened to him last year.
That's happened to me at Florida Strongest Man. I prepped for that show and I was ready to hit it, and that week before
He got sick.
Some people in the gym brought something into the gym. Don't say any names.
And it has to, and this is the thing is, and it's people at the gym because we don't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the only place that we see people.
Yeah.
So it had to have been. And it sucked because, he wanted to do.
It was my qualification for the Amateur Arnold's. It was my last time for the year. And it was really important that I go there and do well at the show. Because it kind of set the tone for the end of the year and what was going to be set up as far as shows were for the rest of this year. And it just kind of...
This is a big event.
So he just took it. And he could have won it. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, you go in there, could have won it, but it just got stripped away because someone was selfish enough to come in the gym. Oh, I'm sick, but, my mental health, I need to work out.
Yeah.
You're an asshole at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate it when people blame, like, they need to be at the gym for their psyche.
Yeah, it's my career.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
And so ever since then, I think it, just like all my other lessons, hard learned, like when I'm getting to the end of prep, I'm real careful not to touch my face, wash my hands if I need to eat food or...
So there's things you do on your end?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
because it's happened already too. Where
Wipe down machines before and after or whatever.
They seem like they do. It seems like the staff there do a really good job of keeping the gym clean.
Yeah,
we
that's
have
heavy metal.
We have the
That's heavy
cleanest
metal.
gym ever.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
That's just heavy metal.
There's no dust.
And you know Tim, he's aesthetics and function.
Anal about everything when it comes to that, which is good. Sometimes it gets.
I mean,
annoying.
that's why heavy metal is what it is.
Yeah, you sometimes it gets annoying, but there's the reason why it's genius works that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Our muscles for sport, not labor.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a fighter, man. You fight you got to get paid to fight.
Yeah, and it's different too. Like
pick this shit up.
Moving stuff consistently, like it's like a real slow burn for hours. Like we're not really trained to do that. We're trained to lift really heavy things for a minute, 2 minute tops, and we use a lot of energy doing what we do. So like whenever we go move these things, like we spend a ton of energy, with something that may not be maximal weight, but that's not what we're trained to do. You know what I mean? Like our bodies are conditioned to, brace and, be explosive and all this kind of thing. But we're not trained to do that for hours on end. Yeah. So like what ends up happening is we get completely drained because our bodies are like, oh, this is part of our workout.
Yeah.
And it just kills us.
Yeah. Worst move I ever did for a friend of mine. It was actually Bo's sister. I grew up with her. She called and she was in College Station. She was moving. So Bo said, hey, you want to help me move her? I said, yeah, I'll help you move her, man. We moved so many people. It was stupid. But I remember, went to her apartment, second floor.
Second floor, I was told, sorry.
We loaded the truck up. We drove around the building. And then it was second floor up the next building. I was like, we're not even fucking getting a break, driving to the next spot. It was around the corner. Worst fucking move I ever did.
Yeah, so that was a lesson. Once getting to the point of being a big boy now, that was one of the lessons that I learned was first floor always.
Yeah.
Because, well, not just for moving and stuff, but just out of consideration for other people living in apartment complexes, if I'm on the floor above you, you're going to fucking know.
Is that during sex or just regular?
Just walking around, I'm fucking. You know what I mean? But especially.
The whole building knows in that.
Yeah. But
that's why I got a 1-story house. I'm not getting a 2-story house.
Yeah. Thank God we live in a house
They
now.
still call the HOA in Austin.
Yeah. But no, we would go to, like, whenever we applied to our last apartment, I was like, look, I need a first floor. We're like, we don't have any available. And I was like,
well, that's
like,
fine.
well, I can't live here then. They're like, but we have this really, good deal on a second story. I was like, do you want me living above someone? Like, you're going to get noise complaints all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Just going to get water.
And especially with like all these mass produced apartment complexes these days, it's just matchsticks and paper. Like
Sure.
there is no quality being built into them. So any step, any like heavy footstep.
Oh yeah, you hear the cracking in the fucking sheetrock and things moving as
yeah.
people walk through.
Yeah. It's not fair. It's not fair to
Yeah.
the people living below me, and I just don't want to do that to people.
You're fucking considerate. I always went
Well,
second
I don't
floor.
know if it's considerate, but it's out of I don't want to hear people talk.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah,
I got you.
it's a little bit of both.
So you both are sleep apnea guys now, huh?
Oh yeah,
I've
I
been-
feel like anybody
I've
over
been.
250 pounds is sleep
I've
apnea.
been. I didn't even know what sleep apnea was.
Yeah.
I've had that issue since I was in high school.
Yeah, no, but so he was heavy in high school. I was 180 pounds in high school, and I had severe sleep
Really?
apnea. But I thought it was just because
At 180 pounds, you had it?
Oh yeah, I got a legit sleep study done in high school, and I had this little mouthpiece that would like pull my jaw forward, and it hurt so much in the morning. My jaw would click, and it would just throw off my whole day.
That's crazy.
And it didn't really help, I don't think. But so for years, I never helped it. I just was trying to sleep a certain way to keep my throat open, and like my sleep just kept deteriorating. Then I hit like about 270 pounds. I was getting close to 300 pounds, and I just couldn't sleep. I would wake up
Yeah.
out of breath, sweating.
Fuck yeah.
And so finally, like he got one, and he
Did
was
you
like,
get a sleep
"Bro,
study
next
done, or you just bought one?
next level." So he got one. He was like, "Dude, next level. You got to get one."
Dude,
And
I had a
that next week I went on
dream.
Craigslist and bought one.
I had a dream. You ever had a dream before?
I'll tell you mine in a minute. You tell me
Shit.
yours first.
Oh, these are just consistent now. I've lost track of all my.
Oh, you're
dreams.
talking about your regular dreams?
Yeah,
He
no,
wouldn't
when-
get into REM sleep.
I wouldn't
for
get into
years.
REM sleep.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
He
'cause I
hasn't
would
he
wake
hasn't
up-
dreamed since he.
I would wake up every 2-3 hours or an hour or whatever, or I wouldn't even get to sleep.
I remember when I went for a sleep study, and I'm a fucking idiot, but we got there, and it was just me and the lady running it, and she puts all these things on me, and for a little bit, I'm like, man, I've seen porn like this. I'm like, just me and her, we're gonna make out.
You
blah, blah,
have?
blah. Anyway, and so I remember I get up like at 2:30. I pee all the time. I'm always drinking something, so I'm peeing all the time, and so that's always breaking my sleep too. I got up to pee, went.
Hey, get your prostate checked, bud.
Hey, you know what? Check it twice a week. But
Oh my
Self-diagnosed.
fucking god!
at the end of the sleep study, she goes, you know how many times you quit breathing? And I was like, how many? She said, your worst hour, your worst minute, and your worst hour was 115 times.
What?
And I said, what does that mean? She's like, you quit breathing twice. No, in the worst hour, I'm sorry. It was twice a minute I would quit breathing.
Wow,
And
that's bad.
so I was like,
Mine was like 20 or 30.
You're
That's
killing
bad.
so
Yeah.
mine was like 115.
That's bad.
You're killing yourself.
Are you?
it's crazy.
I think we talked about this last time. Are you using it more consistently now?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's
and
good.
so I even had to Google it because I had to pump up the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess with a beard too, I lose that suction and
Are
shit.
you should get the little nose one.
I need to look into that one. I need to
are
get
you
on
a mouth
Amazon and buy
breather?
it. I have, yeah. You know what? I breathe through my nose, but this is the weird thing. Is like this time of year, I start getting this painful pain in my sinus because it's drying out. So then I'll go put some water. I hate sleeping with the water because now I feel like I'm fucking breathing humid air, which is what it is.
So depending on what unit you have, you can adjust the amount of humidity and the air temperature coming in and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
I bumped the pressure up because it wasn't doing enough.
Oh, yeah, mine's
so then I
maxed
went
out.
up to like I think 12 pounds or something like
Yeah,
that.
mine's maxed out. I think
Is
it's
it?
15 or something. Yeah.
I probably need to do the same, but I would use it off and on. And I think I told you last time. I was laying in bed on my back. This was when I said, "Fuck it, I'm using it every day," and I honestly did. I was laying on my back asleep, and it could have been fucking Nina, but I don't know.
Someone fucking hit you?
Well, I felt like somebody was sitting on my chest with their hands around my neck, choking me.
Yeah, that was
like I even felt like and maybe I was just dreaming, but I kind of felt like I woke up and I could physically see somebody like fucking choking me. And I you do the, I woke up and I told Nina, I said, I'm gonna use this fucking thing every day now. Yeah. I said that was the weirdest feeling I ever had.
That was Nina because you were snoring.
It could have been because I was also elbowing her late at night on accident.
Yeah. Well, so one of my strategies for combating my sleep apnea before I got the CPAP was I had this big pillow that I would put my arm on to keep my shoulder from collapsing into my throat that I would lay on, and I swap sides. Now that I have bigger shoulders, I have to like swap sides in the middle of the night because like one will get a little crampy or whatever. Well, a couple weeks ago, I guess I brought my big arm support pillow to the other side, and I smacked the shit out of Emma. Apparently, she like woke up and she was like,
on accident?
Yeah, I was totally asleep. I don't even remember it, but like she woke up. She was like, "What the hell?" And she like woke me and she's like, "Was that on purpose?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she was like, "You just destroyed me with that pillow." I was like, "My bad, dog. My bad."
Yeah, well, it's funny because when you're deprived of sleep like that, I told Nina, I said I'd go the day like in a fog.
Yeah.
I'm walking around, I'm not sharp, I'm not paying attention to things.
Yep.
I said it got really bad, and then when you start doing research and the byproduct of that, like high blood pressure, hypertension, everything that comes with it, it's like fuck. You just put the fucking mask on and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of those things where it really benefited me to kind of pull my head out of my ass, put that thing back on.
Sleep is everything.
My favorite way to sleep, which I don't do very often anymore, I've had this crazy sciatic pain, is I love to bundle up pillows and sleep like this on my chest. And, being so heavy, after a while, I was like, what the fuck is going on with my sternum? Because I would stand up and I would straighten out and my sternum would pop, like your knee would pop or your elbow would pop. And so, it got to the point where it was painful, and it's like stuck and you pop. And so I said, I'm going to go see a cardiologist. I'm just fucking, this is in that area. Let me go see one. And he said, you probably have arthritis in your sternum, your chest plate. And I was like, you can get arthritis in your chest plate? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? So now I do that less. Now I sleep on my side of my back. But, man, getting up in the morning, especially with that real tight sciatic, it's probably less attractive than what I think it is, but like I'll sit down on the edge of the bed, kind of like doggy style, and just stretch, push my ass out, and kind of do that cat-cow thing. But dude, that shit hurts, man. That shit hurts.
It's a great mental image, kid. Thank you, man.
I'll send you a picture next time.
No. God, please no.
So what else are some of y'all's favorite recovery things? I mean, there's the heat and the ice, the sleep, the food.
My couch at the house with the TV on.
Is there anything that you think you do that, outside of the community, outside of the weightlifting, that makes you next level kind of shit?
So we had the World's Strongest Workshop, but it was with powerlifting guys. It was like the
Julius Maddox,
Ray
Williams,
Ray Williams.
Oh, I remember that. It was those three dudes.
Yeah, and
Ray Williams is a fucking animal.
Yeah, and Julius Maddox was asked that same question, and his answer is the same as mine. It's sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like not having it or having
no, having it because
with himself.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, because it's recovery. Like you're team building. Yeah. You're stretching. You're getting a little cardio. Like, what more can you want? You're getting
swapping
a release.
Out your old juice for some new juice.
You're getting a release. You're getting flushed out. You know what I mean? So you're good to go.
So what is what is his schedule and what is your schedule?
There ain't no schedule, brother. You play that sucker by ear. You know
hey, wait till you're in your mid to late 40s. You were like, we'll have sex tomorrow. you wait till you have that discussion of I ate too much.
I mean, I'm already there. I just kind of pushed through that one.
It's like, hey, are we having sex tonight? Because if we're not, I'm gonna eat the rest of this pot roast.
Getting the steak. I'm getting dessert. Yeah, just tell me now. So I get it.
What about you, Austin? You can't use the same one.
No, okay, so
I thought you were asking his sex schedule.
I don't want to give out too many secrets here, but
by all means, don't.
No, it's cool though.
Trend
depend. Steroids. They have
Flintstone vitamins.
At Evolve, they have this thing called Pandora Star, and
is that the weird thing on the wall?
No, that's like a reflex machine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, this is what it's an LED light show.
You like close your eyes. It's like guided meditation kind of.
You just meditate,
but
it's a light show that happens, and the lights it's like you're looking through a gyroscope thing, or what was it called?
Oh, kaleidoscope.
Yeah, that thing. What's a
with your eyes closed?
Gyroscope is the balance one where it spins and keeps you level or whatever.
So you just, and then it's cool because they have this thing that shuts off, and
so you're sitting there with your eyes closed, and it's flashing lights in a certain sequence that triggers some mental activation, which with whatever pattern that they're doing.
You listen to really relaxing music,
yeah.
Bro. It is. The first time I ever used it, I remember like waking up, like I fell asleep, and I walked out, and I was like, "Damn, how long was I in there?" I thought I was gone for like 2 hours. Just like 20 minutes.
Did you feel like a full body just fucking?
No, it turns your brain off. You just don't. It's just so relaxing, and then you walk out of there, you just feel like a new person, where you just totally like zen almost.
And what is that thing called?
Pandora Star.
Pandora Star.
But here's the crazy part. So I did a lot of meditation and that kind of thing back before I kind of found Strongman. That was a big part of my life, meditation and like trying to get into the flow state with running and that kind of thing. But it takes a lot of...
The fuck is running?
Yeah, right, I know.
I only run when I'm scared.
Or towards food. So it took me years and a lot of practice and technique to get into that meditative zone. The Pandora Star it's like an assisted, like a kind of like a back door into that state. It's really kind of funky.
So it gets you there quicker?
Yeah. And like it like forces you into it. It's weird. So like you just kind of sit there and you try and relax and you just try and like get used to the lights flashing, and before you know it, like you're seeing these like crazy shapes, patterns that the lights are making through your eyelids, and you're just thinking about
so you're seeing this shit through your eyelids.
Yeah, you're sitting there with your eyes closed.
Yeah, don't open your eyes.
You're gonna get flashbang if you open your eyes. Yeah.
That light is bright. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So and it just the way that it's flashing, it's not making any patterns. It's just flashing.
It's just flashing
like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. But in your mind, you're seeing like these crazy spirals and these like fractal patterns and all kinds of crazy stuff. But like, and that's not really the meditative state I'm talking about. What I mean is like, you get into that like relaxed state where there's no real separation between like conscious and unconscious.
Dude, it's seriously, I'll be there, and in my mind I'm awake, but my body's asleep.
And you're just flowing through these images and thoughts and shapes, and you have no sense of time.
I'll be like, and it's like when I get into it, I feel like I feel like my body's in this like black abyss.
Yeah, like a sleep, like a deprivation chamber.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm floating, and I'm just seeing this stuff, and then my body's totally relaxed, asleep. But I'm seeing this stuff, and I'm running through shit in my head, like just, I don't know. It's so hard to explain, but it just, and then you're done with it, and you just feel like a whole new person. I do that. Awesome. I do it once, twice a week when I get a chance.
That's something that I think that we don't focus on enough. Like even just, I'd say about 2 or 3 nights ago, I was trying to fall asleep, and it sounds the complete opposite of my experience the other day. Like my body was in constant tension, and I can feel like muscles in my. I was probably a little dehydrated too, because like I said, I was peeing out of my butt. But I'm cramping. Muscles are twitching.
Wait, were you in that doggy style position? You gotta make sure you can't sleep like that.
There's been a few times where
you gotta lay down first.
I'm like, I need to get up now, because I'll get up later. It's gonna be a problem. But you feel like that tension.
Oh yeah.
I did a podcast and I did a hypnotherapy session with a buddy of mine, Bill Moyer, and it was so interesting because he was trying to get me to relax, and it was my first time ever, and I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna legitimately give it a chance. I want to see if it works. I don't know if it works. You always see the shit on TV and it's silly. It's nothing like that. So we get in there, and it was so weird because he's talking to you through headphones, right? So he's got a real calming voice. He's talking to you, kind of low or whatever, telling you things to do.
Close your eyes, kid. You're now
Relaxed.
floating through space.
You know what?
Relax your butthole.
Shit flowing through your eyes. Liquid river of brown.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this short because you're gonna make me go take a shit. But it was funny because he's telling me to relax. And every time he tells me to relax,
tense up.
I would tense up.
Yeah.
And I was holding this pillow. He's like, get comfortable. So I'm sitting in this chair. I'm holding this pillow. And it was so crazy because every time he would tell me to relax, it would piss me off more. And so it was the strangest.
My wife was like that.
Maybe that's the problem I have too. But it took forever. And I kept getting these. It was so strange because you see those comic books and they have the comic strip, little pictures and triangles and stuff.
Yeah.
I kept seeing like that images popping up in my brain, and it was all angry eyes looking at me. Different ones, different kinds, different ethnicities, different people, over and over and over.
Was there one more ethnicity than the other?
They all looked angry. So
Stop.
It's my own research.
So eventually, when I finally was and I could feel my arms twitching, I was getting angry. When I finally got to the point where I could relax, I quit seeing the eyes. They stopped showing up, and I finally relax. Dude, I shit you not. By halfway through, started crying because he was just kind of making me relax and making me think of things, and it got real fucking weird. I told my wife, I said I almost stopped because I was real uncomfortable. But then I was
Me too, or what?
What's that? I could have used it, but
Okay.
but it was so weird because most of us don't achieve that relaxed state like that. Yeah.
Well, so that's what the Pandora Star is for. Originally, it was made for like vets suffering from PTSD to like relax your mind and that kind of thing. So you may get a lot out of it, to be honest.
I need we talked about getting together. I need to do it. The past few weeks have been crazy.
Y'all want to go after this?
You know what? I might have another podcast this afternoon, but I do want to tag along because I would love to check that out. I told you about my sciatic shit. I think the water and the heat probably will help all that stuff.
They got a massage chair you sit in, dude.
They got big boy rated massage chairs.
It is a massage chair will get really friendly with you.
Yeah. Well, I'll put that motherfucker to the test.
Everybody
likes to say one size fits all. We'll see, motherfucker.
Well, so it's funny because there's little shoulder flaps that will come down and they're supposed to massage normal size shoulders.
Stop your shoulder like this.
But Austin and I we'll have our arms up like this because it'll go right here.
Sit right on
but
our
it'll massage our lats for us. It's nice.
I fucking love you guys.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, we pushed it to the limit in that stuff. So
I got my first massage probably about a month ago.
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
What kind of massage?
Yeah, happy ending.
It wasn't though. I couldn't afford that one.
Oh, okay.
He was like, you've got too much body hair.
He.
Oh man.
Oh.
Hey, I can only have males massage me.
No judgment.
Well, you know what's funny is it took me 15 minutes just to lay flat, just because my back hurts so much. And I'd sit there and I'm kind of straightening out, and just everything's twitching in the back. That dude put so much force, and he said he wasn't, but he was pushing pretty hard. But it felt so good, man.
Motherfucker.
Oh, he's like, you fat, hairy motherfucker. But you know what? It felt so good. And I was telling a buddy of mine, the spot that was the best was he put his thumb in my Achilles.
Oh, I thought you were going
No.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the Achilles, in the tendon.
Yeah.
And then you've got that little ball on the side of your ankle. Mm-hmm. He would rub really hard underneath it. And, dude, I tell you what, that felt really friggin' good. So I'm kind of a fan of the massage now. I need to go see that guy again. But
massages are good as long as they're staying on the muscle. Like anybody manipulating my spine freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, he didn't really touch the spine.
Yeah,
it was
when
in
you
the
get
meat.
massage therapists that think they're chiropractors, that's when you go wrong.
Yeah, that's when you get permanent damage.
Oh, really?
Especially lumbar stuff. If they're like trying to like get your leg over you and trying to pop you, that can do serious spinal damage.
Oh, really? Because you see that shit on social media all the time.
People want to Instagram clout all the time, so they'll do something so scary. As long as they stay on the muscle and they lengthen the muscle, that's what it is. I've been going to his dude. Ryan Muscle Therapy. He does over here kind of by the airport. And I went before the Shaw and I went after the Shaw. Man, because my left knee's giving me some issues. And I thought it was like structural bone things. You know what I mean? Like like I had a torn meniscus or something.
Yeah.
No, it's my calf is tight and my groin is tight, so it's pulling on my knee. And so he massaged it. He massaged both, and my knee's brand new again. It's like, oh shit! I'm just super tight.
After how many sessions do you think?
Well, just the one. I did one.
Really?
Yeah, I just did one.
You just got to maintain it with rolling and stretching on your own now.
So I've been, so I went to him after the Shaw too. Like it was crazy. Like after a session, I get back into a squat. I can squat again. No big deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna try to go to see him at least once a month because if that's game changing too. You know what I mean? I didn't even realize it. And he was, because sometimes if they're experienced and they know what they're talking about, and you tell them about certain pain, they'll know where the pain's coming from.
Because it's usually never around the actual joint. It's usually above or below, like the joint above or below.
Yeah.
Is usually how it goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was pushing maybe in my thigh, and I felt that shit in my fucking shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I was like, what are you pushing on? He's like, oh, this is connected. And it is. I mean, when you think about it, fuck, it is connected. You know, but he's pushing on certain areas, and I can feel it somewhere. Now, I'm a fat, overweight, diabetic old dude. So anytime I feel something somewhere else, I'm like, what was that? You know, and so he's like,
This is my time.
No, Elizabeth. But I tell you what, it felt great. I need to go back.
Am I dying of beaties today?
So he did a great job, man. I forget his name. I think it was David. But man, it was brutal just fucking laying down and getting up. But
You got to get consistent with that recovery work, brother.
Yeah. I've like I said, I've started introducing some of the exercising stuff during the day at work.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if I don't, and it's easy to sit there, right? And then you get busy in something, and 3 or 4 hours went by.
Yeah.
You know, you get up, shit hurts, and your heels hurt. You know, your joints hurt. I got a bad habit of walking on the outside of my feet.
Yep. And the more you do it, the worse it'll get because you're avoiding the pain wherever it is on the ankles or whatever, and you're creating this asymmetry in that joint that's going to make it worse up somewhere else.
And that's another problem, right? Dude, my fat ass goes through tennis shoes like crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like I love to wear boots because they last longer, but tennis shoes after a while they start rolling even worse, and it starts pulling the outside of the calf, like you said, the groin area. It makes its way to your lower back, your butt cheeks. I saw you leaning on, what was that bear post thing?
Oh, that thing.
Man, that thing is sweet.
Is it?
So
I saw them make one for
Texas.
the foot.
I've got one. I'll bring to the gym.
And he's from Texas.
Where's he from?
DFW.
Dallas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
What's the guy's name?
I don't remember.
Well, it's called bear post or something.
Bear post,
because it is just looks like a bunch of bears rubbing up on the post. But it's such a simple, genius idea of like an epoxy mold with just to stick anywhere. You know what I mean?
So he's such a nice guy. He gave all the Shaw athletes one that goes on the ground for your feet.
Mm-hmm. I saw that one.
One that goes into a workout rack that you can move however you want. And he gave all the Shaw athletes one for free, and it's been
that's cool,
amazing.
It's because like you know how you get a foam roller and us bigger dudes.
I ain't getting on the fucking ground.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a process.
Just thought of something fucking funny.
No, you're on the ground. Yeah. You're on the ground. You're staying on the ground, right? No, you don't. It's the same thing, but you don't have to get on the ground. Yeah. And then you can hit certain things that you like, because like if like you're using all your weight when you're on the ground, right? If I'm trying to roll up my IT band out here on the outside of my leg, well, I got my whole body leaning into it, so I can't
really control it.
I can't control what I'm putting into it, so it hurts, and like I just won't do it because it hurts too much. Yeah. But with the bear pose, you can ease into the pain. You can really find where that hurt,
and it's this real smooth, hard epoxy, so it slides real easy on clothes. So like,
what about on just skin? Or is it just
you got to put some lotion on if it's just skin, but it slides really easy on clothes, so you can get that like massage type feel where it's like pushing and like pushing the blood in and out without like having to get oily or like take your shirt off or whatever.
I'm gonna order the one for the floor because I have plantar fasciitis too.
Yeah, I should have brought mine so you can check it out. But
I saw them online. I checked them out, their Instagram. Yeah. That shit looks cool, man. Yeah, but I was laughing earlier because the foam roller. So probably about 8 years ago, I think I've started having some tightness in my back. So I bought a foam roller. I put it down. I had my shirt on, and big shirts. So I'm laying down on it. I start rolling. I put it in my shoulders. I start rolling backwards. My fucking t-shirt starts rolling, and it starts choking me. Now it's at my lower back, and my feet are in the air, and I'm choking, and I'm screaming for Nina.
Hey, don't lie. You like that shit.
Oh, man.
You like that shit, you kinky bastard.
I was like, come punch me in the nuts. And so... that was the last time I used a foam roller, man.
Oh my god. Come step on me. Oh my god. Dude, this podcast is R-rated, man. Oh my god.
We'll delete it when we're done.
Holy shit, that's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, so you're right. I mean,
dude, no. Oh my god.
so yeah, bear post. We're gonna snip this whole piece out, and we're gonna send it to him as advertising.
Oh god. We're never gonna get sponsored again.
Don't get caught with the foam roller. Use bear post.
And then at the end in italics, it can say, "Babe, punch me in the nuts."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think we just recorded a commercial.
Holy shit.
Who are some of y'all's sponsors? Y'all sponsored up right now, or what's going on with that?
We both have Evolve,
Okay.
which is so amazing. I say it all the time. There's 3 big sponsorships that you can have in Strongman. There's recovery, which is what we have now in Evolve with the ice baths and stuff, because that can get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Equipment, I've got Cerberus, code Guardione 10 if you want any Cerberus gear, 10% off. And food is the third one.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. I'm sure Austin's going to be, he's going to have to be fighting off some brands here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, that's
he's going to
interesting.
Giants Live next weekend, and that's
massive, dude.
That is like the top circuit in the world.
I got my call up for the minors on Tuesday.
So
That's
how I
pretty
feel.
badass.
And pretty much all those guys are taken by SBD, Cerberus, whatever the case may be. Like, people want to have eyes on those guys. So I'm sure here in the next few weeks he's going to be getting reached out to. So that's super exciting.
I'm sure it's crazy because, like, even with this podcast, right? There's ways to monetize, and there's ways to get into a pool, and they just throw commercials on your shit, and that's exciting, right? It's exciting when people want to recognize you, and then when want to pay you to fucking recognize you. Yeah. But then there's a certain point where it's kind of like, okay, what do I want to represent?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool place to be, right?
Yeah.
Where you can start being choosy about things. So that's exciting, man. I'm excited for you guys because this shit's not cheap, right?
No, yeah.
There's travel, there's fucking food, there's training,
there's
training, and there's food again.
Travel.
But you go to the fucking grocery store and you're spending an arm and a leg for very little nowadays, especially when you're trying to do protein and things of that nature, maybe fish. Yeah. Shit's expensive.
Especially like Whole Foods, because everybody's trying to do lab grown and farm, cage raised, and like with Strongman, you got to eat clean, you got to eat big, and you got to eat clean. So we're buying the most expensive stuff in bulk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big cost.
That's got to be one of the more difficult things, when your heart's there, when your drive is there, when your community's there. Now I need fucking money.
Yep. And it's tough too, because
that's the next level shit.
Like the idea of getting strong is just so pure and primal that like you don't want to introduce the distraction of wanting to make money off of it. At least I don't personally. Like, I want to just get fucking strong. Like, I don't care if it makes me money. I don't care if it, recognition. I just want to get strong with my buddies. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's what I care about. So like the money is secondary, but you don't want it to be a distracting factor. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you got to remember what got you there. Yeah. I think that's what happens. A lot of people when they make it to the top, they forget what got them there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that drive and that dog that you had when you were at the amateur Arnold's or when we were in the Shaw Open, that drive that got us to, me now, the Giants Live. Like first of all, I gotta make a name for myself as it is, right? Yeah. Especially at that level now, but
I think that's another plus of having a training partner like me is I'm not gonna let him I'm not gonna let him start slipping.
Yeah, it's the biggest humbling thing too, and it's just like you gotta remember what got you there, because what got you there is what's gonna keep you going. You can't so when people figure out when they made it to the top and they're like, oh, I made it to the top, that's when they're gonna start getting, because there's gonna be a dude just like me that's going to
we
take.
know a couple of those.
Yeah,
guys.
they're going to take the spot.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that dude to
to
get
falter.
complacent.
Yep.
I saw a cool podcast recently. Max Holloway, y'all know him. He's a
Fighter.
UFC guy, real skinny Hawaiian guy. I forgot what weight
Is
class.
that the pink hair guy?
No, but I think he's in might be the same weight class. He's,
But this dude doesn't. He takes fights all the time and he just fucks people up.
Yeah, he's good. You have to look him up. But it was very interesting to hear him talk. He's like, I spend very little money. He's like, all my championship belts, they're in storage. He says, I don't live any differently than the day I started.
Yeah.
He said, he said, because I'm still going after accomplishments. You know, he said, when I retire, I'll pull the belts out. I'll put them on a shelf. I'll start spending some money. We'll travel. He said, that's the time to remember. Right now, I'm chasing something.
I love that. Yeah.
You know, and so he said, I keep all my shit put away. He said, everything that I've ever achieved, I'll enjoy it later on. It's put to the side. He said, because I'm still going after things.
That's badass.
That's fucking awesome.
I love that.
You can't. Yeah, no, you can't get complacent because that's training. If I get complacent, Nick's gonna catch up to me.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the same thing with him. I'm gonna catch up to him.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want. You have that happen, then you're going the wrong direction. And if you're okay with it,
Yeah.
If you're,
and I think like you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
yeah, at that point, same thing with the money thing. You're doing it at the wrong reasons. And so if you get to that point and you're like, oh, I gotta start monetizing it. If you have to like make that decision to like, oh, I gotta start making money off of this, then you're going the wrong direction because now you're taking your focus from what got you there to how do I make money off of this, which. Yeah. I mean, I get if you have to, and you know.
You still got to pay
like
bills.
at some point we're going to have to,
Yeah.
but like that should never be the driving force.
No, for sure.
The driving force, and like you see these guys, they'll get to these big shows and they'll be like, all right, cool, I got all these Instagram followers, I got the fame. Now I don't have to train as hard. I can, I can relax. I can just go to these shows and enjoy all the attention. Nope. Fuck no, you gotta. You're there now, and you gotta fight with the big boys. You gotta train even harder than ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even if you win World's Strongest Man. All right, now you're the defending champion. You got to go keep that title for next year. You got to prove that it's not a fluke. You know what I mean? Because the day after World's Strongest Man, nobody's going to give a shit. All right, cool, you won your title. Now it's their turn. Or what? You know what I mean?
I think the only one person and he just proved it this last week, was Brian Shaw. And he's the only one that's ever gone out on top. You know what I mean? Like and it's the same thing for any kind of winning like tournament you go to. You know what I mean? Like there's only going to be one smiling face at the end of the tournament. You know
Winning's rare.
Yeah. When it's not normal, and you got to do something not normal to do it, you know, to win. So it's like, and people, I don't know if that's the other thing. Like, it's not normal. It's lonely. It's lonely on top. So you got to be willing to do that little extra that no one else is willing to do. That's when me and Nick, we'll start working out at 5:30, 5, 6, whatever. You know,
we'll be the last ones there in the gym sometimes.
We'll close up because got to close and we'll leave.
Yeah. If we like got events work, we got to get done. We'll do it. We don't give a shit.
We got shit to do. So it's not.
We got titles to win. We got shit we need to do. So we're gonna put the work in no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that's and then too, this thing about. But those are some of the best memories at the end of the day because there's some shit that goes on. Fucking stupid shit that we say and and that's what Tim was saying too. Like okay, yeah, we go to Shaw, we do this, we have fun, right? We're not really going to remember that. I mean, we will, but what really made that memory is when we had to set up the log and do this and you know what I mean, like just the process, because that's what
we overcame to get there.
That's 90% of the 98% of the journey. You know what I mean? And the other 1-2% is the actual show.
Yeah, so. I think one thing that's weird is like when you're competitive or you're in sports, there's always the goal, the achievements, right? That's the purpose of participating, but the memories that you're talking about, that's the locker room shit, that's the bus ride, that's those things that it's like, we won 3, 4, 5 titles.
No one remembers records.
No, but they'll remember, the shit we did. Hey, you remember that time we took a fucking road trip, had a blowout, and blah blah. Those are life events that you carry forever, man, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding. That's the word of the day. Trauma bonding, man.
That's what
So are you both coaching? I know you're coaching, right? Are you coaching too?
I got some clients.
How is everything has to feel good, right? Otherwise, why do it?
Right.
But how good does coaching feel? Do you enjoy that? Or are you is it kind of one of those things where it feels good to see somebody progress when maybe they took them a while to get over the hump?
I think mine is a little different than the normal cliche answer of like, yes, I love to see people What I like is people understanding the process. When they learn like, oh shit, I got to do X, Y, and Z to get this. That's what gets me excited about coaching. I could care less what you lift. I could care less what you win. But I want to see you understand training, because at some point, honestly, I don't want to coach you no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you stay with the same coach, or if you have to, you're not progressing as a person. And I think that's what I love about coaching, is seeing people do personal progress with like mental rather than like physical attributes, whether it be, oh, my triceps popping, or I got a trophy, or this. Because I mean, I'm stronger than people. Ain't nothing you're gonna do that's gonna impress me. And, you know what I mean? As fucked up as it sounds,
yeah.
Like I don't care. But when you learn, okay, stop drinking, or oh, I'm gonna start going to bed, I'm gonna be a better person, and learn like what we say, the heavy metal way, the death squad way, like all the bullshit that I've had to do. Once I start getting people to understand that and start following that way, that's what I get joy out of coaching.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For me, it's made me appreciate how much shit Tim had to go through to get us to where we are now.
There's
like,
so many times where because like you want to tell motherfuckers, like, they're like, oh,
bro,
I just did
just
this.
fucking do it. Like people just overthinking and purposefully sabotaging themselves, and you're like, holy shit, like we did that exact same thing and we got through it. Like, man, I feel bad for Tim, because you know he had to deal with us. You know what I mean? But like, look where we are now.
You know what? It's funny because all the negative things you just said, those are me to a T.
Yeah.
I'm a self-sabotager guy.
Yeah.
You know, and even in the beginning, like with Tim, it was kind of like, it's kind of like, man, you saw me today. I'm late to fucking everything, man. Yeah. You know, so it took me a while to go, oh, he's not my friend and family member. He's working.
Yeah.
And I need to respect that work time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those people where I'm like, shit doesn't apply to me. There's rules, but they don't apply to me. You know, but it was funny to see those early days, because even I remember one time he had said something to the effect of, you know, it wasn't these exact words, but it was like, I became a gym owner and I'm actually a maid. You know, because it was hours of sweeping and mopping and wiping things down. Yeah. And it's a lot of times people go, I mean, heavy metal it's the shit. Yeah. You know, the people that's producing out of there, the atmosphere, the culture, you know, the logo, the gym itself, the equipment, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, but it didn't start that way. You know, it's interesting because it took Tim's mind, Tim's education, you know, it took him and Michelle's hard work, you know, and all that doesn't really fucking matter if the culture isn't built and the people aren't for that area. No, exactly. You know, and then when you come, it could be fucking Apollo Creed's original gym, you know, from fucking Rocky. And not, you know, run down, torn up everything, but it's the people that make that culture, you know, and that's what's fucking always blown my mind. And I always say, if you're surrounded by a lot of good people, it's because you're a good person, you know. And so with Tim and Michelle, they're good people, and they've been so blessed. And I'm sure, you know, you get different personalities in, you get one or two in that they're gonna ruffle feathers. But the culture that it builds and the people that it attracts, you were talking earlier about the Florida Gator shit with Urban Meyer. You know, it's like the people that aren't going to be part of this culture need to go. You know, and when you finally get to where it's everybody in the same direction with the same frame of mind, the same thinking, the same processes, that shit's unstoppable, man. Yeah. And I think you two guys, more coming, are the fruits of that culture. Yeah. You know, and it's like, it's hard to beat that.
It just kind of hit me recently too, how much responsibility that we kind of have there. Like, people look up to us, they watch what we're doing every day. Like, I used to train with headphones in every day because I didn't want to talk to people. I just want to focus on my workout, get as good as possible, whatever. That's
the Gold Gym way.
Yeah, but there's so many people that are relying on us to answer questions, to show them how to do something for the first time, to whatever the case may be. Like, we can't
set the example.
Yeah. So, and it just kind of hit me recently, like, wow, like we have a leadership position in the gym, and we have a responsibility that whenever we walk through those doors, we're giving people advice that could change their life. You know what I mean? So, like, especially recently, I've been taking it super serious. Yeah, I'm in there, like, trying to represent the gym, represent the culture.
And that's the thing, like we were talking about earlier, like, remember what got you there, and you got to keep on the same thing, like being a good person. And I think Tim has had plenty of uncomfortable conversations with people throughout the years.
And even with me too, like, he's...
Oh, dude, that's funny. It's funny because we're like, oh, Daddy Tim's watching, or, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta, but it's the same thing with Tim, and you could tell, like, he cares, is because he's still having those conversations with people, those uncomfortable conversations. Yeah. There's still, like, if there's something, he'll snip it in the bud before it even happens. Yeah. Like,
that's what he's always thinking about, is just cultivating the culture in a certain way. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And even if it comes down to one of us and we're acting fucking stupid, and
nobody's safe. Like, if you're going against what the gym stands for, he'll get you out of there. Like,
it doesn't matter who you are. If I start acting stupid the other day, be like, all right, fuck it, whatever, get the hell out of here. There's nothing. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, whatever it is. Like,
if you have a responsibility to, if you're at the gym representing the gym, you got to do it to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? He'll see any cracks in the armor. So
yeah, that's good to have somebody like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's in your corner for one, but also just maintaining that culture in the gym that way, you know, because this is your careers are years long, you know, and you know, let's say at some point you grow out of heavy metal and you move on to somewhere else, or you stay there forever. Either way, if it's consistent, it's beneficial to your career paths that are going to take years to develop. You know, you can't say, hey, 5 years in it turned to shit, and then 2 years later it got better again. It needs to be consistent.
That's what I was saying about, like, the whole coaching thing too, is like, I mean, I'm not one to tell someone how to live their life, like, you know, but if I can help them realize their goal, like if they have a goal and the goal is to be the strongest person in whatever show this is, okay, well, you got to stop drinking this day. You got to get your sleep. You have to tell, if it is, you have to tell your significant other, like, what's not, like, you know, I got this coming up. If you can take any stress off of me, please. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to realize what that goal is. But it's the same thing with the whole culture thing, is you gotta be able to implement it and then keep on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just.
And I mean, if we didn't have Tim, like, that's what the culture is. Tim genuinely cares about what we're doing and how we're doing it.
And Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle,
of course.
Tim's the brain, Michelle's the heart.
Yeah. And I think that's what they really look for, and when they're getting coaches to be at heavy metal, to work at heavy metal, if you really, really are invested and care about what your athletes are doing, then they're all aboard. And I really don't think, like, Austin and I could have been training partners, but without the guidance, we wouldn't be where we're at. We would have been injured. We would have taken wrong shows. We would have, you know, the training would have been totally a mess. Like, if we didn't have that guidance, and if we hadn't taken that in and start passing it on to others at the gym wouldn't be what it is. You know what I mean?
You know, I think that's something that's pretty telling. You know, when you go to a Gold's Gym, it's not heavy metal. It's nowhere near the type of gym that heavy metal is. Yeah. You know, you can pay somebody to give you advice and training. You know, but at a Gold's Gym, but at a heavy metal, you can do the same. But the culture is there, right? And it's like there's a blueprint that everybody's playing on. You know, and it's a blueprint that maybe Tim's come up with. I'm sure it's a blueprint that Tim doesn't. He's a smart guy. It's funny because when you talk to him on the street, you want to hold your wallet, you know. But when you talk to him about fitness, you know, the switch turns. You know, smart motherfucker.
As soon as he starts doing this thing, you know he's about to come up with some crazy shit.
Dude,
but you know he's a smart guy. But he's a smart guy because he won't listen to that. I'll tell him not to listen. But you know, a good coach, a good leader, is somebody who realizes they don't know everything, and that they can watch the people around them and learn from them, either by their successes or by their failures. You know, and when you have a guy that can look, or any person, they can sit there and look at something and go, okay, this is right, this is wrong, and I'm going to take this out of that, and I'm going to implement it and maybe change this up, and things get better. And, you know, one thing that I think people in the San Antonio area need to realize is if they have certain goals, that's the place to go. That's the kind of place you want to go get it done at. You know, a place like heavy metal. You know, a place where you can go in and you have guys that are competing at the top level and you can fucking talk to them. You know, you can have a question. You can say, hey, I haven't been able to fucking, you know, overhead press more than, 130 pounds, and it's been weeks. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, you're talking about that. Like, I love it when people all the time, they come up to me, oh, what do you do for eating?
And then we'll go into an hour-long fucking spiel.
I'm pointing them to Nick.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about that because I don't know shit. Well, it's not that I don't know shit. I know he's done his research and it's legit, and he's done
it works because
and
I doubled my body weight.
And you know what I mean. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like with if someone's asking me about throwing a sandbag, I'm gonna point you in because I don't. It's not that I don't know. I just know my technique's probably not gonna be the best for that person.
Right.
Or the way I explain it because I'm still learning it. You know what I mean. So I'm gonna point him in the direction of Nick, who's got it figured out. You know what I mean. So
and like if we get asked about programming and that kind of thing, we'll point him to Tim.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case. Like we know what we're good at, and that's what I'm saying. Like people will come to us, and our advice could make or break their dreams. You know what I mean? Like that's why they're a heavy metal, to be around the best. And if we give them shitty advice because we're not the best person for that, like that's on us.
And that's interesting that you say that, because that's not a mentality that is in the culture right now. Nobody wants to look like they're not the best source of advice for anything.
No one wants to be wrong.
Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to look like maybe they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So everybody will go, oh, well, this is what I do, and this is probably what you should do.
It's the community too. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, what is that? Raised by a village or something? It takes a village. Takes a village. I mean, you look at anyone on top. There's only going to be maybe 1% that's done it on their own. Yeah. But at the same time, like, there's a community at the gym. There's a village there, and if you need something, there's gonna be different people you can take things from to benefit you.
Yeah. And like we don't know anything about cutting weight for the lighter guys, so we'll point into people who we do know.
Yeah.
Don't
ask about cutting weight.
So
that's what I tell people. I say I don't know shit, but I know people who do.
Yeah, for real.
That's how it goes.
Being able to push them in the right direction.
Well, tell me, where can people find you guys? What are your next events coming up? All that good stuff.
So my Instagram is at Nick Guardione, GURDEEEOWN. In about 7 weeks here coming up, I got Strongman Corp Nationals, hoping to take my first national title and get my pro card finally. Austin, go ahead.
You can find me at Smash Andrade on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Next week I'll be in London.
That's badass.
Oh, Cardiff, Wales,
Giants Live Open.
Same shit.
I'm gonna compete.
World Deadlift Championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go deadlift with the best in the world next Saturday.
That's awesome, man. That's exciting.
In England, yeah, this is crazy. Like I was saying, I didn't know I was gonna do a show until this last Tuesday.
That's crazy. But like you said, staying prepared, always keeping that going. I mean,
and I think it was lucky that we didn't have time to kind of celebrate the Shaw win, because now you're ready to go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think I would have got a little complacent because, because
the day after the Shaw, he was like, I'm going to shut it down for the rest of the year. I'll just focus on coming up shows in the next year or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Hey, 2 weeks later,
here we go.
So from that to the fucking one in Portugal, what's the time difference? Is that like a month and a half?
It was from Portugal to Shaw was a month,
okay.
And this will be 2 weeks.
That's pretty quick.
So
man.
It's a good thing I have a passport.
And working, anybody who wants to buy the
it's going to be on officialstrongmangames.com.
Okay.
Official strongman.com.
But as far as your
t-shirts,
your crop top t-shirts, where can people get your crop tops?
Just hit me up on Instagram. Hit me on Instagram for Tex-Mex Strongman shirts.
Different links.
That's just Instagram. Just hit me up on that. I don't have any. What do you call it? Any of those, DM.
Okay.
Yeah, DM me.
DM for some shirts.
And then I'll send it to you.
And then Heavy Metal Fitness is where y'all train.
Yep,
And,
Heavy Metal Fitness where we train, Evolve's where we recover, and I think that's about it right now.
Well, cool, man. Y'all got anything else you want to share? Anybody else you want to make fun of?
Rob for tearing his bicep. Idiot.
I got a whole list of people I'd like to make fun of.
Yeah.
We'll start out. No, I'm just kidding.
Hang on, I know that was a shot, but as soon as he said that, I looked at his hand and I was like, "Come on, Nick." Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming back out, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Anytime.
excited to see the things y'all accomplish. I think it's great for the gym. I think it's great for you guys. I think it's great for San Antonio. I think people need to pay attention a little more to what's going on in the strongman community because you guys are going to be the future of it. I mean, you've just started and you've already been to some pretty big shows and you're going to some more and fuck, it's exciting, man.
Next time we come back on here, maybe we'll be at World's Strongest Man.
Oh shit, that's the goal, man.
Support your local guys.
Next year I'll compete at Strongest Man on Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
The pro show with
The
the
pro
with
show.
the big boys. Which
What time of year is that?
It's probably
it's going to be
August.
second week
August.
of August usually.
Yeah, so me winning the Shaw got me the invite to that show next year.
That's badass.
So
His career just started. Like winning that show started his pro strongman career.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited for you guys.
It's huge.
Y'all gonna be at the Battle of the Alamo City? You're working that or no?
Nick he'll be delegating work.
I'll be head judge. I'll be handling all that. So
Good thing it's indoors this year.
we need
Last year was bad.
to film all the videos for that.
We need to
Speaking
do
of
that
which,
stuff. So we actually need to get to work.
speaking of which,
But I won't be there. We have a wedding we'll be going to in Kansas. Me and Maisie, so we won't be there this year.
That's cool.
faster.
Hey, there's nothing better than a
Figure it
wedding
out.
cake, man. And then you got a wedding coming up too, so
Yep, next year.
Next year, November.
let us know if you need any advice. We might have to do a pre-wedding podcast.
We'll call it the prenup.
Hey, word of the day: trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding. Thanks, fellas.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Gabe Molina Podcast.